Hello guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching the Awesome 10X channel. We're gonna give you live direct market updates now on June 23, 2020. Today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, correct? It's Tuesday. Actually, the market has a lot of buying signals abounding, even if this is just down 50 points. Let's go through your statistics first, and let me share to you what happened today. Top gainers from a trading perspective wise, you've got PXP rising 20%, value traded 80 million. This was from 5:30 the other day. You've got some speculative names going up now is 43 million, value traded also up 11%. You've got Costco 9% up. They've got an analyst briefing within the week. You've got Sun breaking out. You've got APX a while ago also breaking out here 8%. There's a lot of speculative names rising, but also there's also some financials that's rising. I would say that today is a bullish day. Despite only having 103 advancers and 98 decliners, today's move is basically a bullish day. We are seeing a lot of buying signals abounding amidst the market. Actually, you've seen Security Bank and BDO in your top gainers for the day. MPI, GT Cap also gaining 3%. Let's take a look in their charts. Some of these names are actually buyable with good risk rewards. GT Cap, let me show to you the chart of GT Capital. This is a classic setup. You could see that there was a limited drop. This is a higher low. It dropped at 450, rallied to about 500, consolidated nicely, and today's the first day uptick. We are seeing that is a higher low from this prior base of 385 below. So we could see that people are willing to pick up at 10% higher, showing that that is a good bullish sign. The drop was actually caused with very little volume. The rise had high volume, so that is actually a good thing for GT Capital. GT Capital could play catch up as the market is giving a lot of pickup in sales in autos, wherein GT Cap owns Toyota and Honda. Now, you've seen BDO also rising. Remember that in the last few days, BDO has been falling on that on the news of a wire card, and then the company vehemently denied that they would. Basically, they will not lose anything on the Wirecard German fraud. So given that BDO has been dropping since 115, we are seeing that this support at 97 coincides with the prior support here. And that is, of course, a higher low. You're getting a buy signal today in BDO. People could have bought today. This is the first day. You're seeing that any price from 102 to 97 is brought about by so many bulls, such that the resistance will still reside here at about 115. So risk reward is favorable to the bulls. Now, Security Bank actually also rose. You can see here that Security Bank actually broke out from this 100 level, and we could see that that was also a prior support. So far, the bulls are winning. We were saying that a few days ago that at 6365 that the market was directionless. We didn't know whether the market would fall further or higher. We actually now know that the answer is higher. Despite PSEI here not showing anything, we could see that the financials chose to go higher. So BDO gives you a buy reco there. Security Bank gives you a support at 100. People who can enter somewhere at about 100 to 103 should actually try to take opportunities, given that it looks like Security Bank bottomed out here. Now, that tells you that financials as a group is actually able to rally. That's good, seeing that the weakest financials are giving you an entry point. This is actually a higher low. Financials are giving you an entry point. This is a higher low from prior 1050. Now, if laggards like financials and GT Capital is rallying, you might see the market actually be able to buy some laggard airlines as well. So we are seeing that given that the higher low of Macro Asia is 5.7, any drops here would be considered a buying opportunity. We're seeing that laggards like Nickel Asia could also be bought. It had a support at 175 today, at 176. That is a higher low. So take a look at those names. Recently, we're seeing speculative names go up. So this prior move of PXP from 5 to 650 moved up. It could be a sector play or it could be just a singular play. However, PXP, that was a good move in the last 2 days. It could translate to a strong move in the mining sector. 2 days, APX mining rallied with strong volumes. So given that, let's take a look at mini. Mini equals mining. So mining and oil looks to be setting up here a higher low. So financials and mining looks to be giving you a laggard play in the market after, of course, the successful runs of Mini Mart and Mary Mart and Dito Telecom. So this is the third day. So you're seeing that Mary Mart has a problem at about 380. That is a Fibonacci resistance at 380. Although there was like a spike above 380, like 394, it might get some profit taking first after a strong run up from about 250 to about more than, this is a more than 50% in 3 days. Now, same thing, we are seeing that 50% run up in a week for Dito Telecom is getting some people to take profit. The take profit people seems to have rotated already. After selling the Dito and the Mary Mart, we're seeing that the market is advancing in a lot of speculative names. Let's take a look at some speculative names that they have been going into. So APX, PXP, SunTrust is now a casino. We saw some movement today. It broke out that 130 level. We might see it go down. You're seeing a lot of spikes. Every time it goes up, there seems to be a lot of seller. Spike here, a lot of selling, then sleep. Spike here, strong volume, then sleep. Spike here, it could also have low volume again and sleep. But it means that at 125, really, there are enough buyers holding on to their casino bet. So I think this is a casino bet that other people are willing to engage in given risk-reward scenario. Let's see. So laggards wise, we are seeing a lot of names going up. Given that financial have been rallying, consider this laggard Metro Bank also a potential bottoming out phase. It bottomed here at about 33. This is a higher low at 38. Although there isn't a sign yet of a true bottom, it could go to 36. You tranche your way in 38 to 36. Looks like there is a support somewhere here for a good risk-reward scenario. Given that laggards are rising, although Cebu Pacific hasn't shown you a clear buy signal yet, we might opine that this prior low of about 36 is the lowest it can go. So at 10% downside and more than 30 to 40% upside, you might be seeing a good risk-reward ratio here. How come are we saying that airlines are potentially going to go up? Let's take a look in your airlines abroad. This is Delta Airlines. You're seeing that these are higher lows. So prior low was actually here at about 19, rallied to 37, back to 26, rallied, and these are still higher lows. So you might not be able to see Macro Asia below 5 anymore. So we could see that the airlines as a sector is exhibiting a higher low. With these types of moves, your airline sector, which is laggard, are still being picked up by the market. That is true for your American Airlines, for your United Airlines. So there, we're seeing as well that even casinos abroad are showing higher lows. So this is your scientific games. It's a higher low move. You've got sports betting happening in US. These are infrastructure plays, GAN Limited. Seeing that casinos as a group are doing well, I would opine that Bloomberry as a group, this is actually a higher low move. So you're seeing that despite people's apprehension on these types of names, it looks like these names are in a reopening move, and I wouldn't be surprised if this rallies back to about $9. So Bloomberry at about 7 will get you a lot of support. or even if it falls to 6. Now, of course, we saw some reopening themes. Actually, this is not a reopening theme. This is a earnings-related breakout. So after this breakout at 6 pesos, it just continued higher. This was a higher low at 7, went as high as 8. It is still a potential move higher, continuation towards your 9. You actually see a lot of names moving up in the market. We are seeing that if laggards and financials, all of these names are your laggards, are getting some love. We are seeing that the market is actually in a bullish state rather than in a bearish state. Let me read the press release of Apex Mining. Not sure about the volume, but Apex Mining reports a 60% higher first quarter 2020 earnings. We also saw that the market is willing to buy some of your holding firms. No, let's discuss JG Summit. Of course, this is also a reopening play, given that JG Summit holds a percentage in your Cebu Pacific. So this is considered a viable situation if JG Summit goes down near 56 to as much as even here at about 58. So this is considered a bullish setup for JG Summit. With the trend here, this strong move, this is just actually a healthy correction. You want to be entering here at about 58 if JG Summit gives you an entry. Now, let me show to you why Nickel Asia here looks a good risk-reward ratio. Of course, we are seeing your companies in the electric market going very strong. This is your Tesla. It's now hitting it's actually hit all-time highs, $1,000. And we're seeing that very strong support at about this prior highs. There's a lot of movement in your electric car market. Tencent reinvested higher in NIO. This is the Chinese version of Tesla. You're seeing, I'm not sure if this one will see it, but I'll show you some trading view moves here. In general, I'm seeing a strong movement worldwide, abroad. So it is translating in the entire market, not just in the Philippines. So I think like the Philippines is getting the love. Even if there are so many cases of spike of coronavirus in New York, in Brazil, in New York, Beijing, Brazil, the market seems to be ignoring all of these coronavirus cases. So a lot of names actually kept rising to all-time highs last night, suggesting that the bulls are still in control. So you're seeing that the electric car maker BYD company rallied strongly to about 52, broke about 56. This is already trying to break higher and higher. You've got a lot of very risk-on mentality names right yesterday. This is a gene therapy name, and NVTA. Sorry, I'll discuss all of these in our global market updates, but it tells you why I am saying that Philippine stock market is actually showing a bullish move rather than a bearish move. So with the bulls winning, you want to bet with the bulls. So the bulls example, so given your risk reward ratio, that means that this one, Nickel Asia, you should actually be betting that this 220 could actually be retested on the way higher. So you can actually make a bet that at 181 or 178, any drops here would be limited. It's higher probability that it goes higher rather than going down. Drops should be taken advantage of. So that is actually a buy signal for me. This is a buy signal. This is a good buy signal today. GT cap buy signal. The resistance is here at about 600 to 640. Although you might see some resistances in previous high here at 530, looks like the bulls are winning this round. Now, APX supported with your earnings, higher volume. I would say that some people might have been trapped here at about 120, and any rallies at 130, 140, they would first have an impetus to sell. However, given that there is a potential reversal move here, two things could happen. Drops at about 1.1 will now be supported. Whether it goes down back to this box, 90 cents to 110, it looks like the buyers, the bullish people here are correct. They might take profit here at about 120 to 140. However, this is a higher low move for APX mining. So what was the news about it? Let's read the news. You don't have to buy when it is already this far from your entry price. But for those who have it, congratulations. You have a strong hand. You've got a strong move. Apex Mining reports 60% higher, net income of 100 million, net income of 125 million. So reported earnings, what's this? You can read it. The higher average metal price. So yeah, you can read the news yourself. But the COVID-19 related quarantines imposed in Davao de Oro, where the company's Mako mine is not significantly affected, um, explained Luis Sarmiento, President and CEO. Target date to commence the commercial operation of the Sangilo mine of ISRI, however, has been moved to July. So I think this is more of a strong move in the mining sector, no? Yeah. Let me see how let me check a few things that I haven't checked. So yeah, I was just checking if nickel prices actually spiked, if there was a catalyst, or it was just electric. But maybe it's just the overall market flow. Because in the US, a lot of names very strong. So it keeps on going higher. I think like we are getting a lot of bullishness, given that if the US is continuing all-time highs, Philippines cannot be trapped in a low segment forever. And you've got this all-time highs. I mean, there's just so many all-time highs moving all around the world. So with all-time highs surging everywhere, it goes to tell you that the Philippine market has found a move on the way up. So EPHE, this is Philippine ETF. Looks like we've already seen the higher low here at about 26. We're gonna be reaching out to this 28, 29, and then 32. So the risk is smaller, the reward is higher, the probability is on the way up. Reevaluating that theme, let's take a look in some of your big index names. If your index names are about to go higher, let's go some index. Take a look at index. So SM Prime is still muted today. I think BDO is the big leader, but you could see that if the market is gonna go up, it could go back to about 34. Ayala Land also could go back to about 38 or even 40 if the market is gonna go higher. Ayala Corp 810 looks like it can go 840 if the market is skewing on the upside. SM could go to 1,000 given the market is skewing to the upside. AEV, let's see. AEV, yeah. Back to so like I think that the market worldwide is showing you that your PSEI index has capacity to go back here to about 6.5 to 6.7, given the strong run up in US. So any drops of your index, you actually have a lot of buying opportunities, even if it goes down to 6,000. We're seeing bullish moves all over the world. So okay, that's it for the Philippines. Yeah, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, sorry. Last na, I haven't read this report. No, let's read this. Actually, MPI coronavirus facility records increasing patient count. So Metro Pacific Hospitals, of course, the coronavirus referral hospital of Metro Pacific Group has been recording increasing patients. The number of confirmed COVID-19 patients in Santa Mesa has grown to 41 from just 9 in March. Probable cases expanded 12 times to 150 patients on June 5 from 12 patients in March. To address the COVID, MPHI has said the facility has opened multiple wards for patient isolation, deployed 48 additional nurses, Makati Med, Cardinal Santos Medical Center, Asian Hospital Medical, De Los Santos Medical Manila doctors, among others. Accredited laboratories of DOH has given Our Lady of Lourdes a bigger allocation for COVID-19 test kits. So with the DOH reporting 653 new cases on Sunday, raising the total country case to 30,000. Of this, 1169 have died, 7893 have recovered, and PHI is preparing to gradually return to normal operations, which would start allowing surgical procedures and face-to-face consultation. It's a bit morbid. It's a bit morbid to discuss these things, but the more coronavirus cases, I suppose it means that more revenues for the hospitals. So this is a very strong run-up. You could see that MPI has recovered back to your December levels. That is actually a 52-week high for your index name. Given that MPI is recovering, your resistance here is 440. Take a look bigger. I'll show you the bigger chart. So MPI has been undervalued for the longest time, given its stakes from MPI on Meralco, on PLDT, as well as your hospital, toll roads, and your Meralco, diba? Utility. So you have a lot of reports of COVID cases. So this is actually going to increase the hospital bills, hospital revenues. Whether MPI can make a full reverse move back to about 540 or 520, given that you know that what's this, the Manila Water, AC, MPI, all of that water has already been, the hangover there has already been removed. You might see that outperformance for MPI. Any drops of MPI could be limited here at about 340 to 360, with even potential moves up higher to about 4 to 440. So just take note about that theme, that this is becoming a strong sort of COVID-19 play. Okay, so thank you. Anyway, MPI has been vastly undervalued ever since. Your net asset value for MPI is somewhere at about 7 to 8 pesos. So there could be bargain hunting whatsoever just based on their valuation. So, okay, that's it. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow. There's a lot of buying.